Okay, so I'm going to give you one sentence. It's a long sentence, but it comes from the fact that I need the smartest independent thinkers to bang around ideas well and get past those ideas, right? So Bridgewater is an idea meritocracy. That's what I mean, idea meritocracy, in which the goals are to have meaningful work and meaningful relationships. They're equally important. Meaningful work and meaningful relationships. They support each other. It's like tough love, okay? You can care about a person and you can be tougher with them if you care about them, and it's like the Navy SEALs. That sentence is an idea meritocracy in which the goals are to have meaningful work and meaningful relationships through radical truthfulness and radical transparency. In other words, that anybody can say anything and challenge anybody. So if you put that slide back up, that was the one that you were asking.
Right.
Can that go back up? Yeah. So here's Jim Haskell, and we have this radical transparency. And he said, Ray, you deserve a D minus for your performance today in the meeting. You did not prepare at all because there was no way you could have been that disorganized without preparing. Okay. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Right? It's great because first of all, I needed that feedback because he was right, so that was good. I got the feedback. And secondly, if he couldn't speak that way, then he would bottle that thing up. He'd have to carry that around with him, and I wouldn't be good for our relationship, right? So being able to speak radically truthfully to each other to get past it. And then you talk about our baseball cards and so on. You have to know what people are like. People are good and bad at different things. Everybody's got weaknesses. So the idea is, can you find ways to really know what people are like, and can they embrace their weaknesses? And do you do that in an idea meritocratic way? Like if I came in and just said to somebody, you're not very good at this thing, we don't know if you're very good at this thing. Just because I say it so doesn't mean it's so. So how do we get at that? And how do we do that collectively? How do we acquire evidence? So if you go to that TED Talk, the TED Talk will really sort of convey how we sort of collect that evidence, and then everybody knows whether they're genuinely good and bad at different things. Once you get there, then each person knows how to improve in a better way, or they know, what's even more valuable, who to pair up with somebody else. Because somebody may be, let's say somebody's very creative and not reliable. Somebody else is very reliable and not creative. You put those two together, you have an effective team. Or somebody's big picture and not detailed. Somebody else is detailed and not big picture. They make a great team. Well, first of all, if you don't know what they're good at, you're not going to put them in the right jobs and they're not going to improve. And so the whole idea is how do you idea meritocratically, evidence-based, through a lot of dots and evidence, get to the notion of what people are good at and bad in order to have that idea meritocracy. And that's been our secret sauce for success, right? If you can do that, because if you also have an idea meritocracy that people believe in, then they think it's fair, and it gets you past disagreements. There was a disagreement that I had with in my transition, the CEO, about different things, but we have a process that gets us through those disagreements because everybody believes the decision-making process is fair. So that's how you put together a team of great independent thinkers so that you can go to great collective decision-making rather than just individual decision-making, because nobody's good enough.